Very good morning to you. If you're just joining us, let's bring you this story. The DA is backing its decision by Johannesburg's Council Speaker, Vasco da Gama, to seek legal opinion on the Council's voting procedures. Now, da Gama said that he needed to consult legal experts on the discrepancy in the voting procedure and the Municipal Structures Act. For more on this, I'm joined by the DA's Gauteng provincial chairperson, Mike Moriarty. Mr. Moriarty, thank you very much for joining us. So, the ANC is quite aggrieved by this, saying there was no need for a legal interpretation of the Municipal Structures Act in 2016 when you were elected in office. So why now?
Well, the difference there is there was absolute certainty what the result was going to be. There was going to be voting by every single member of the council. They were all present, all 200, well, there were probably 270 people present on the day. The difficulty is the ambiguity in the law. The law says you need a majority. It doesn't actually define what a majority is. Is it a majority of those voting and present, or is it a majority of the councillors that are elected to council? Now, the council standing orders is very clear. The decision has to be made by a majority of the entire council, i.e. 136 votes would have been required. But the Municipal Structures Act isn't actually very specific about it. Now, anybody could have won yesterday, and whoever would have won, with the possibility of a whole range of abstentions, which were on the cards, then that would have been in dispute, and somebody would have run off to a court, and then the whole process would be held up for months. I don't think that the people of Johannesburg would have deserved that. They would have been highly penalised by that.
All right.
And it's a matter of a couple of days.
Here's a simple question.
Yeah.
50% plus one.
Yes.
What's difficult to interpret there? And are you playing for touch here to try and get numbers that you perhaps do not have?
136 would have been required. There were very clear indications that there were going to be a whole range of abstentions. That would not have given anybody 136. The likely result would have been possibly about 110, 120 to about 100, 110. And that would have resulted in somebody going to a court. Somebody would have won, somebody would have lost, and somebody would have gone to court. For the sake of a couple of days, I mean, December the 4th, come on, that's not far away. Let's get certainty. Let's go to an advocate. The advocate is being briefed at 11 o'clock. And then by the 4th of December, you'll get a meeting, and there will be absolute clarity one way or the other.
In Tshwane, what's the situation there?
Well, the situation there is that the city manager has been appointed as an acting city manager. The executive mayor is on special leave, and there is
not on special leave, according to what the council decided yesterday.
They had no powers to do that. The fact is, you either
council has no powers.
They do not have the powers to say that you cannot be on leave. What they can say is that we can't accept your leave for the purposes of this meeting. So they did not accept his leave. So technically, he's absent without leave for yesterday's meeting. That's all that it means. He is actually on leave.
It's a disaster for the DA.
No, it's not a disaster. What we've got to do is go through our processes. I think everybody is entitled to due process, and that's what's happening. There's an FLC process internally in the DA, and there's an ethics process in Tshwane, and I think we must respect those. Everybody has a right to be heard and has their case heard.
Mr. Moriarty, the People's Dialogue next week. That's an event that's being organized by your former leader, Musi Maimane, and the recent mayor of Johannesburg, Herman Mashaba. They met last night. In fact, they've been tweeting as such this morning. Does that worry you, given the state of your party right now?
No, not at all. I think, people that organize in civil society should organize in civil society. If there is any suggestion of a political party being formed, which I doubt, well, that's their right, but I think it's highly unlikely.
All right, Mike Moriarty, he is the DA Gauteng chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.